Edward first received a die-cast model in the ERTL range in 1989 when Thomas first came to the US with Shining Time Station. Like all the early ERTL products, Edward received a paper face. Unlike most paper-face engines, Edward's face is based off of his TV series face instead of his railway series face. Edward's model is one of the better tender engines in the ERTL range as he isn't too long. He has the correct wheel arrangement and side rods like the other engines in the range. In 1990, the year after Edward's model was released, Edward's face was redesigned to be 3D shaped instead of the 2D paper face and appears to be based off of his railway series face this time. Edward's ERTL model is pretty good and one of the better tender engines in the range. Edward received a couple variants in the ERTL range as well, which include a gold rail model and a miniature model. In 2004, the ERTL range was discontinued. 2 years prior, the Take Along range launched, exclusive to Target stores in the US and later launched worldwide in 2005. Being a main character, Edward of course received a model in the range. Edward now had a separate tender, his main body was the right size, and his face was once again based from the TV series. Edward's Take Along model was a huge improvement over the ERTL model and was a step in the right direction. Edward only received one variant in the Take Along range, which was the metallic model. In 2010, the Take Along range was discontinued and replaced with the Take and Play range. Edward's model was similar to the previous Take Along model but had its differences. The paint was a more brighter blue, his whistle was painted the correct gold colour, his side rods are now painted, the number 2 on his tender is more accurate to his TV series appearance, and he has an updated and better face. While being quite similar to his Take Along model, the updates made to the model in the Take and Play range improved the model, making it look better, improving Edward's model even more. Edward received a couple variants of his 2010 model, which include a sooty Edward from the Edward and the Joby Tree pack, and a talking Edward. In 2013, the Take and Play range was redesigned, and with this redesign came a new, updated Edward model. Edward now had a CGI style face which replicated how Edward's face looked in the CGI series perfectly. He now had pin axle wheels, lampine details, albeit unpainted, and his buffer details were no longer painted. Despite being minor details added to Edward's model, I really love how Edward's 2013 model replicates how he looks in the CGI series. When I look at Edward's 2013 model, I see a model of CGI Edward more than I see a simple toy of him. The details are amazing, and this is easily peak diecast Edward. Edward received one released variant of his 2013 model, which was a talking Edward, and one cancelled variant, which was a milk-covered Edward in the cancelled Edward and the Dairy Spills pack. It really was a shame this pack was cancelled, as it would have been cool to have a shocked-faced 2013 Edward. In 2014, the Take and Play range was redesigned yet again, changing the look of the models, with Edward having one of the worst changes to his model. Edward now had 6 driving wheels and only 2 leading wheels, which are simply moulded onto his chassis, when he's meant to have 4 leading wheels and 4 driving wheels as correctly depicted by his previous models. Other changes to his model include having painted side rods, a non-hollow squished down cab, and the biggest of all, round, one-way magnets. This model of Edward is a downgrade from his previous models. The incorrect wheel arrangement looks odd, his cab now being the height of his boiler, and the horrible one-way magnets. Luckily, the Take and Play range was discontinued in 2017 and replaced with the Adventures range. The Adventures models are almost exactly the same as the 2014 Take and Play models, but with one improvement to the models, being the rotatable hook and loop couplings. Not only is this a huge improvement over the horrid one-way round magnets in the iteration of the diecast range before, it is in my opinion the best coupling system ever in the diecast range. Even when the square magnets were a thing, it was limited how many engines and rolling stock you could couple up together. With the rotatable hook and loop couplings, you could couple as much engines and rolling stock together as you like. In 2019, after only 2 years, the Adventures range was discontinued and replaced with the Trackmaster Push Along range, and of course Edward received a model, and looked worse than before. Edward is now huge and long, even bigger than Henry, who's meant to be a much bigger engine than Edward. has 6 annoyingly spaced out driving wheels, and has an awfully proportioned tender. Definitely one of, if not the worst, of Edward's models. In 2021, the Thomas & Friends TV series was rebooted to All Engines Go, and the Push Along range was redesigned to produce models based off of how the engines look in the show, and was a huge improvement over the CGI Push Alongs, and are actually accurate to how they look in the show. Edward of course received the model and looks very accurate to his All Engines Go appearance, and for the first time in 10 years, Edward finally has the correct wheel arrangement. I am yet to buy Edward's model, as he isn't released in the UK yet, but I am definitely going to get Edward's All Engines Go model when he comes out. Over the multiple models Edward has received over the years, my favourite has to be the 2013 model of him. Edward's 2013 model is the most accurate depiction of him in the diecast range, having an extremely accurate face, correct wheel arrangement, and a very accurate shape. If you have the chance to get a 2013 Edward, I say buy him, and not end up with his CGI Push Along, like I did initially. And that brings this video to a close. Before I go, I have an update to give on content coming in the near future. Firstly, the Thomas's UK TV journey video I announced a few months ago, I will be postponing until 2024. Not only is it to give me more time to work on it, 2024 will be a much better year to release it, considering 2024 is the 40th anniversary of the Thomas & Friends TV series. Also recently, I started up a third channel called Luke's Interests. On this channel, I make content about my other interests, as well as more personal Thomas videos that don't fit this channel. I plan on making video essays, collection videos, unboxing videos, and more for that channel, so be sure to subscribe to that. Talking of unboxing videos, I am thinking of moving Thomas diecast unboxing videos to that channel. I have now thought up of a new way to make unboxing videos, which will be easier for me, and I feel more happy doing. Unboxing videos will be starting over there from sometime after Christmas, so keep a lookout for those. This is all the updates I have to give for now, and keep a lookout for content coming in the future. Bye!